Hello there, and welcome back to the SWTVC show. I said it right this time again, 2 weeks in a row, right here on YouTube, the streaming home of the SWTVC crew and the home of TVC March Madness 2025, the original Star Wars collecting March Madness tournament, the only one based on exhaustive community-driven research, data, and the only one solely dedicated to the heritage world-building 3 3/4-inch scale. I'm your host, Evan, or as you may know me on Instagram, at Mile High Ground. And we are back once again late on a Wednesday night to chat about week 2 of this year's tournament. To those of you that were with us last week, you know that we experienced some technical difficulties with showing some visuals here on the stream. Hopefully that issue is resolved tonight. When I did a test earlier today, it seemed to work, but you never know what you're going to get, so we'll find out together. Before we get into the March Madness of it all, let me introduce my co-hosts for this edition of SWTVC Nights. Joining me tonight, as almost always, is my SWTVC teammate, the tall, mustachioed action figure historian with a knowledge base that would make even a protocol droid blush. It's the Vintage Concepts himself, John. How you doing, man?
Oh my, good. How are you doing?
Oh, I am sleepy. I'm glad I'm not big on the screen now because my eyes just are bagged. So
it may be the second week of March Madness, but it's the first week of daylight savings time.
Yes,
this time change. So we are all tired in our own ways. And hello, everybody. How you doing? Thanks for joining us.
And it is not just us tonight. We are joined by a special guest, and for the first time joining us on the show, but he is no stranger to our antics. It is Brett from, you guessed it, Brett on FET. How you doing, man?
Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for joining us.
SWTVC March Madness is one of the best events in our hobby, so really honored to be on with you guys.
Oh, come on now. Don't flatter us too hard, you know? Oh, man. Let's see. Well, since we're getting started, let's see who all is here tonight. I see some familiar names. We've got Riley Bob, and will this be the sweet, sweet season of Sweet Simaloo?
Yes, it better be. It better be. This is his year. I can feel it. I can tell.
Oh, let's see. Kevin Hughes. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Vintage Clone. Oh, we got our buddy Ben Swallow here. Yep.
Goodbye, Dad.
Joseph. Yes. Thank you for Joseph for keeping us represented on Reddit. I appreciate you, man.
Feed the babies Wednesday night. Hopefully you feed your babies every night. I think they need that, but that's okay. But thanks for joining us tonight. And I'll say real quick, it's not in the thing. If you haven't voted, you have a little less than an hour to vote in today's matchups. I'm sure most of you watching already have. If you haven't, hit that link tree right there, linktree/SWTVC. There's a dot in there somewhere. But yeah.
Scott McManigal, Brad. We have got everyone. Oh, we've even got a Chaz the Guru in the house tonight.
Thank you.
All right. Well, let's see. Where are we at? Let me pull up my my outline here so I know what we're just doing tonight. I guess, you know what? Let's just jump into it. Brett, you're our esteemed guest for the evening. So, let's talk about how you got here with the vintage collection. You know, what's your background? What's your collecting background look like? Not literally, your background behind you on this stream is amazing.
Background currently is great.
That. Yeah. But yeah, what's your relationship with TVC and Star Wars collecting? Maybe for those who may not know you, give us a little bit of info about yourself.
Yeah, well, I started getting seriously into collecting as soon as I got out of college, where you get some little bit of disposable income. And that started, I think, with the Attack of the Clones saga line, the blue card backs. Not the best line ever, but that's the first line that came out when I was out of school. So I hit those hard. I think I got every one of those. Moved into, whatever came after that saga line, OTC and all that stuff. 30th anniversary, loved all that stuff. Ironically, right when TVC came out, I got that first wave, and then I got married. We bought our first house, we had a kid, and I had to put collecting on hold for a bit, and just picked up stuff here and there over the years, but not a whole lot until COVID. And so like so many people, that's when I decided, okay, it's time to get back, sitting at home all the time, bored to death. and just realized how much TVC I'd been missing out on, and just started buying up all the TVC I could at that point, and just been collecting TVC ever since. And so around that time, started getting into following all the YouTubers, and back in 2020, 2021. And then I don't know, maybe a couple of years ago, I guess it was, just decided to start my own channel. Just wanted it as a way to just reach out to the community and get in touch with the community, because I'm kind of a shy guy actually, and so I thought, if I could make myself do this, then I could get out there and meet more people like you guys, because my real world friends, they're not into this stuff. They don't get it, right? And you can relate. We all got those friends that don't relate to this stuff, and so I can't talk this stuff with them. So. Um, Yeah, so starting the YouTube channel was the best thing I ever did in this hobby, because I've met so many people and made some really great friends through doing the YouTube stuff and the Instagram stuff, and so yeah, it's been great. Best part about doing it.
Well, this is the moment of truth where we find out if the graphics are actually working tonight. I just threw one up. Chat, let us know if it's just not showing up
Hey,
again.
it's working. It's working.
But
Nice.
yeah, this is Brett. This is your YouTube channel. I pulled this up, and I know, I'm sure people who watch our show, tune into us, and the more 3 3/4 inch zealots, I'm sure they see that video there on the bottom of the screen, bottom right there, or not bottom right. Oh, it was on mine, and it's not on this one. You had a Black Series video about not collecting Black Series. You were collecting that for a while.
Yeah, well, I was always TVC first and foremost, but I would buy the occasional Black Series if I really liked it, especially the ones that we don't have in TVC. I would
Yeah.
buy, and yeah, it just got to be too much, man. You really got to focus
Yeah.
in this hobby. It's just too much money. I ran out
Yeah.
of room. I had like a whole section of my Black Series, and it was really when the Ghost came in, I had to get rid of the Black Series, and so I chunked it into a box, and it's like, what's the point of doing this if you can't even enjoy it and put it out? So
Yeah.
yeah, I've given up on Black Series. I'm not a hater on the line. Don't like to hate on it. It's fine. They have some great stuff.
Yeah.
But I think TVC has really caught up as far as the quality,
Mhm.
to where it's really just a smaller version, of the
Yeah.
Black Series. And so it used to not be that way. When Black Series came out, it had a lot more detail, because it was just easier for them to do in a 6-inch scale, to show that kind of detail. But now that TVC's caught up, I just don't see a reason to collect both.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Well, what have you been up to with your channel? What are some of the recent videos? I know you just did one about Empire Strikes Back. You mentioned that was not only your favorite Star Wars movie, but your favorite movie, correct?
Yeah, I'm a huge Empire fan, just obsessed with that film. So definitely got a bias towards wanting characters from that. And there's just so many ESB characters that haven't been made. There's so many outdated ones, but more importantly, they just need more in the line. So um, definitely need some more, prequel figures. I mentioned that actually in the beginning of the video, that I recognize that we are still missing a ton of very important prequel trilogy characters. But I just want to start pushing and getting the word out there that, hey, don't forget about Empire Strikes Back. There's still a ton that we're missing from Empire. So hoping we'll start getting some more. And I think that getting the Snowtrooper, that was a huge step in the right direction. That
Yep.
at least we're seeing something, because it's just been kind of a drought.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so jealous. I haven't even gotten mine yet. I ordered
Oh, wow.
like 4. No, I ordered like 6 from like 4 different places and still haven't gotten any. I didn't get the case from EE. So
Yeah, that's the only one that I have so far, is the case one. But I don't have the case of Snowtroopers that I ordered
Yeah.
from Entertainment Earth
yeah.
either. But so I only have one open so far. But yeah,
I
like
know. Oh, sorry.
I watched the video, and I love how you go through the whole movie kind of scene by scene, or planet by planet, and talk about updates and stuff that we need. Which one we talked about. One day we'll do a Return to Hoth story theme idea, and I'll just rip off everything you said already, but add a couple of things to it. Yeah, but we've gotten a few. We got kind of the carbon freezing chamber, a couple things to sprinkle around that, and then they did a pretty good Return of the Jedi focus for the 40th a couple years ago. Now this year has the A New Hope stuff with Return to Tatooine. So yeah, maybe ESB will get some love sooner rather than later. We don't know.
Yeah.
But Snowtrooper's a good start.
Yeah, it got me thinking about, I've been on a kick. I tried not to be so deep in the weeds on tooling lately over the past couple of years, thinking about, what could they achieve? But back in December, I was putting together some 3-pack concepts where I was like, okay, you could use this piece to do this character and this. And when I was watching your Empire Strikes Back thing, I was like, oh man, we could just get an Empire Strikes Back version of Boba. That would be super easy. They wouldn't have to spend a lot of money on that. They could do a super easy Darth Vader. They wouldn't have to spend a lot of money on that. They could use the new A New Hope Han and as a base to kind of get us a new Bestman Han. There's, some things, there's some clever reuse and stuff that they could get us, and fingers crossed, man, that they start taking advantage. So
yeah, definitely.
As Peekaboo1 says, what's your biggest want from Empire, Brett? If you had to
Biggest
pick one.
want. Oh gosh, it's so hard. I really want something to do with Dagobah, and I put it in my video, but I would love for them to do a Yoda's Hut playset. And but maybe even ahead of that, I really want a Dagobah Luke, a Jedi training Luke. The only one we got is that one from the Cave of Evil, which is just awful figure.
Yeah,
the arms are hideous. Oh god, the arms give me nightmares.
They updated the head, but it's still not very good.
It's not very good. So I'd really like a definitive one, and I'd like a Dagobah R2 and a Yoda Hut. I think that would be really cool. So that might be my biggest want, but definitely just a simple Empire Boba Fett. Obviously Boba Fett's one of my focus characters, so and would love to have a definitive version of the Empire Fett.
Would you be happy? We're talking with some people before the tournament started. Would you be fine with sort of a retool of the existing Return of the Jedi one? I know he has some different armored parts here and there, and there's different like little dings. I don't know how much of a detailed.
Yeah, I would probably accept that if I had to. I think I would. I would the alternative of not getting anything, but I would really love just almost a completely newly tooled one where they got all the details just right. He's such a beloved character in Star Wars, and like an Empire is, to me, I think of the Empire version of him first and foremost. So that's what I would love to see, is just them to do it right. But yeah, I would get over it if they just did a slight retool and repaint of the previous one. I think I would probably accept it.
Nice. Going back to the Dagobah playset real quick that you mentioned, that's one of the few Kenner items I have. I have the Dagobah playset and the Ewok Village playset. It's incomplete.
You have the foam, do you?
No, I don't have the foam, sadly. I got it from a friend who had it from the 80s. And now my nephew is reaching the age that he can actually play with Star Wars stuff under direct supervision, of course. But we were playing with the Dagobah playset, and he was like, what's supposed to go in that hole? I was like, oh, there's foam. It's like the swamp and stuff. But we loved making things levitate on that playset. So it's a lot of fun. So yeah, new one could be awesome as well. Somebody mentioned here, Brad, Return to Cloud City might work if it shows up in Mando and Grogu as newly released material. Hints at, because some news sort of is that the Smuggler's Run ride at Disneyland, we know it's adding some Mando and Grogu stuff, and they showed a picture of the like a sandcrawler, which seems to be on Tatooine. They showed Cloud City with the Falcon and the Razor Crest on the way there, a new Razor Crest, and by the Death Star 2 ruins. So I don't know if they're actually going to go there in the movies or if they're just adding those like Star Tours for the ride, but I guess we'll have to see.
They did Wilro Hood. They could get that cool Camtono accessory back out there that they packed in with the very first Grogu in TVC that came with the Mandalorian.
Funny how that fit on a regular card back, by the way.
Yeah.
I was stuff in that bubble.
With a cool sticker and everything. Thinking about, and going back to that Cave of Evil Luke, I will just say, pro tip, I did pick up a few extras of that figure, loose ones just off eBay here and there. The extra hands are a great accessory to kind of have on hand for other figures, to give some more dynamic poses. So I'd recommend that to anybody who wants to give some of their characters a little more panache with force hands and whatnot. So
nice. So it is good for something after all.
Yeah.
But and then if they did, speaking of shared tooling and stuff, we always think about which legs can be reused everywhere. But if they did a new Dagobah Luke, they could do a new Bespin Luke using the same legs. Third time's the charm on a vintage card, maybe for a Bespin Luke.
Yeah, that's another big one. That's another is getting an all new Bespin. I can't
on the alt
stand
card
that
back.
Bespin look.
And that was funny
Yes, the alt
because
card back.
in 2007 they made Luke on the vintage card, and then still they were like, we didn't quite get it right. So the first wave of TVC, which was all Empire for the 30th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back, they made sure to do a new Luke Bespin, and it was better for the time, but it still wasn't quite right. I don't know.
When they
That
re-released that
Luke.
one, was that 2020 that they
Yeah.
released it, and they gave, it was one of their early like photo reel updates on an old sculpt, and it really just showed how like that sculpt was. I just couldn't take that. I never found a good sample of that update. I'll just say that the eyes were always a little askew.
Sloth-like.
So, yeah.
Like,
Hello, my name is Luke Skywalker. I'm going to fight you. You know, reusing stuff too. We're getting, as part of Return to Tatooine this year, you know, they pipelined way back during the Cantina HasLab, the Ben Kenobi. You know, that's something that they could just put a new translucent soft goods cloak on, like they did for previous Force Ghosts, and then cast him in a shinier translucent plastic, and there you go. There's Force Ghost Ben, man.
That's one of the first cards I ever made on my page.
Yes,
I've
it
been
was.
waiting to see an update for that guy.
One of these days, we got to do a running tally, John, of how many of your cards, your concepts, your vintage concepts, if you will, have been turned into vintage realities. So
yes, that'll be a new page, vintage realities.
Yeah.
Speaking of vintage realities, sorry, what, Brett?
I'm just gonna say one of my proudest moments was in YouTube is that I did a really early when my channel was terrible, but I did a concept for the Din Djarin in his in the trooper outfit. Why am I drawing a blank on
what
that's
Morak,
the Morak trooper,
tank driver, whatever. Yeah,
I did my own film out mock up, and what came out was exactly, it was like to the T, exactly as my mock up. So my little moment early on in my YouTube.
Yeah.
Anyways, go ahead. Sorry about that.
You manifested it.
I was we always trying to get the segues in maybe, and then realize we have more to say. So wait a minute. Okay, speaking of vintage realities, I guess should we get into some mail call a little bit?
Yeah, let's do it. You know, this is the part of the show we usually do that mail call. Not really sure there's too much to report at the moment, but John, I know you said you had opened some figures recently.
Yes, so Hasbro Pulse finally delivered Dead Ramiro this week, so I finally got to have one to open because I've had the carded one from the case for a little while, and I gotta say the likeness is absolutely incredible. I know the legs have been the topic of much consternation online. It could be better. I don't think they're honestly that bad in person. You know, she's been doing her, Dedra deadlifts, not skipping leg day. She's got to run after all those rebels. Yeah. And maybe her boots are a little big. Maybe that's all they had at the ISB office that day. She's running late and she had to wear somebody else's boots. But overall, pretty happy with her. I'm glad to have her in the line ahead of season 2. This is another case where they probably, I think they pushed season 2 to wait till after Skeleton Crew or something. So whatever, we got a K2SO repack. We got a Dedra partial tool. Will we get anything else? I don't know. Guess we'll find out. Also open from the same wave, got my phase 1, the Teth Troopers, which are called lieutenants, but they're really just 501st phase 1.
I got lectured for calling them Teth Troopers, Teth clones.
That's what it
in
says
shorthand.
Yes.
But they're like, no, say it right. I was like, okay, I'm sorry.
But as people have pointed out, I know I'm late to the game, but the helmet is just so good now that it love removable helmets as a fun thing, but the fact that the sculpt is just so much better than the removable helmet. And then the blasters are so much sturdier. I know you guys have mentioned that, but I compared to all the other clone troopers we've gotten over the past couple of years, well, in the whole history of the line, but this is just so much sturdier, and even the details look a little bit finer. So I'm just glad they finally, it's the small things, they had the great clone trooper already. We finally got a great phase 2 helmet on it last year with that 4-pack, and now a great phase 1 helmet. So I want more, and I know I should. Okay, as Anakin didn't quite say. But so yeah, rounding out the first wave of the year, and then I saw Pulse is also shipping out more from the second wave, the fan channel wave. Evan, I think you said, did you get a shipping notification for the Snow Trooper from them?
Yeah, you said you got ones for Lieutenant
one for
Callahan
Callahan,
and
yeah.
for the Howler and Sabine.
Yes.
I got them for Callahan and the Snowtrooper. I didn't get one for the Howler yet.
Interesting. And I think I ordered Snowtroopers from them as well, but I didn't get that notification yet. I got 2 notifications for Callahan, even though I only ordered 1, so we'll see what happens.
I want to talk about Callahan really quick, but Brett,
Yes.
have you gotten anything in recently? Fun, interesting?
Not too interesting. I got my Dead Ramiro in a few days ago, just like John. I got the IG-12, I guess a week and a half ago from Amazon.
Yeah.
And just got extra my carded Anakin and the Teth clone, and
Nice.
yeah, so yeah, and I got the AT-AT driver Lego helmet.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Which is that's just one of my that was my number one wish for that series, the helmet series, to get the AT-AT driver. And so that came true, so I had to get that one. So I'm not a huge Lego guy anymore. My son kind of gave him my Legos, and he's collects all the Star Wars Legos now. But I had to get that one just because I'm a big fan of the AT-AT driver.
Are you happy with the color on that one? I know it's light gray, and people are like, it's supposed to be white, but I don't know if you built it yet or not.
I haven't built it yet, so
Okay.
I'll have to let you know once I build it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Maybe it's one of those Hoth Han blue coat, brown coat situations where the lighting's different. I don't know, but let me see. And then, yeah, I still don't have IG-12 from Amazon. I didn't order from Amazon, but I got today the email as well that they shipped IG-12. They shipped him yesterday.
Yeah,
I
ordered him from them as well.
Nice.
There's just an awful lot of space in that bubble.
Yeah,
it is. We talked about it last week when we had Miko on the show. You know, these first couple deluxe carded offerings being, you know, ones that folks have looked at and been like, why is this deluxe? And it's tough when the ones that we have ahead of us there, it's like, oh, that's why those are deluxe. So it's kind of a tough one. I hope it hasn't soured anyone. I do want to mention, though, with IG-12 and Grogu, I know a lot of folks have, you know, myself included, kind of dunked on the, oh, where's the paint? And, you know, some disappointing aspects of that figure. But I do just want to sing its praise here real quick. I did just open one and put it on this shelf behind me here at work earlier this week. And one of my coworkers stopped by and they're like, oh, what's this? And they picked it up and they were playing with it. And they're like, there's a little baby Yoda in there. And they were going nuts. They were like, this is so cool. And so, you know, sometimes when you pull back a little bit, there's some value.
And they said, wait a minute, it's missing 2 paint applications on its inner thighs. This is trash.
You paid how much for this?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
wait, speaking of droids with missing paint apps, Kevin Hughes says, I got the Epic Heroes SM33 recently, but haven't opened it yet. Can't say I remember no Skeleton Crew TVC rumors. RIP Neil on the bracket, but SM33 still on the bracket. And then Bob, I can't pronounce your name, seems French.
Those emails are bonkers. Like on one of my shipping updates for something, it said your new ship date is February 26th. And it's like, I don't think that is right.
I've been getting because it's like 2-part emails. It's either your item's about to ship or it has a new ship date. So sometimes it's moved to 3 months from now. Sometimes it's moved to 2 weeks ago. And I'm like, okay, what does that mean?
Yeah.
But I think once it says it's about to ship, then like 5 or 6 days later, it does ship. And now that they use DHL for most things, it takes another week from there. Yeah. So I don't know.
You know what, I'm glad that we haven't had a repeat of a couple weeks ago, I believe, when they were shipping out the Teth clone. Oh, I'm sorry, the 501st clone lieutenant or whatever. When they were shipping that out, and I remember just over the course of 12 hours, I got 20 to 30 of the same email, like it's going to ship soon. And it's like, okay, guys, you got to figure something out.
Yes. So I got 2 for Callahan, 1 for IG-12, and 1 for Sabine and the Howler, and maybe some Black Series stuff. Don't tell Tyler, but
Callahan shipping to us here in the US. There was some word, I think it was from Star Action Figures, that in the UK, Callahan has been canceled for release. I
was confused about that. I think part of it was that someone can correct. We don't have any of our British pals on this time, but I think like the Case of Serpent that had her in it was canceled or something. And this was also very confusing at Entertainment Earth. This was the one that they canceled all the orders for that wave, and then they stopped selling that wave, and then they said, just kidding, it's the orders reinstated.
This has been a weird wave.
Yeah. So I guess we'll see what happens. Hopefully she's not too hard to get. I don't know. Stay tuned, I guess.
I actually got a shipping notice for Aura Singh from Pulse. That's the only
Okay.
one I've
Oh.
gotten recently.
Nice. Did you get
So
that
it's kind of
today?
scattered, it seems.
Yeah, it came today. The shipping notice came.
Okay.
Today.
Yeah, she's one that I ordered. I ordered one from them as well, but I haven't gotten the notification yet.
And some folks would ask, why did you guys order that figure? Ah.
I wanted to relive.
I only ordered one for the card. Well, no, that's
Yeah.
not true. Actually, I do not have her loose. I only have the 1.0 version.
There you go.
And even though it's a disappointing figure, I still wanted to have her loose. So I did order two. And I like the alt card back. That's a better. It's actually maybe a nicer card back than the original.
I agree.
That was one of the ones because I had the Discover the Force version, the episode 1 3D version. Then I think I gave you, Evan, right? That's the TVC one that I had.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then now I also I could buy it again 12 years later, But
yeah.
okay. I can't wait for that nostalgia hit of the last time I bought the same figure.
Yeah.
When she comes in.
Where's the accessories go?
Yeah.
I'm excited for Mail Call. We are going to be doing another stream this coming Saturday. I'm excited for Mail Call. I don't want to jinx it, but I was just thinking about it when we were talking about stuff shipping. The Mara Jade Legacy lightsaber from Disney Parks shipped out. Mine shipped on Sunday. It went up for order on Saturday, shipped out Sunday. It's supposed to be here tomorrow or Friday. We'll find out. Super excited about that. And, she is one of our March Madness contestants. So, yeah.
Nice.
I have so many lightsabers for characters that don't have a good TVC figure or a figure at all. And that's fun, I think. I don't know.
At least they have something from them on your shelf,
Yeah. All right. In the news, it's been only a week since our last stream. I'm not really sure there's a lot of news to cover since then, but please correct me if I'm wrong, if there's anything important that I'm missing news-wise.
So Kevin pointed out that Yak Face mentioned the Heir to the Empire pack hitting the U.S. shores, but that's still like 2 to 3 months before we actually get it. A lot of the time, maybe not that long, but a lot of the times it still takes a little bit of time to actually work its way from the docks to everybody. So who knows?
Yeah.
But that's it. That's all we got for news. So
cool. What an exciting time.
We got March Madness news, though. How about that?
We do. So you know what? Let's just jump in then onto the reason that we're all here. As you are no doubt all aware, TVC March Madness 2025, I need to sleep at some point, is underway. This past Friday and Monday saw the conclusion of the round of 64. That means, yes, 32 characters remain. So I guess we'll recap the results of these final days of the round of 64. So that would be Friday was I have this all pulled up and I don't know why I'm struggling here. Okay, so we'll go down this one. So that matchup was first matchup of Friday was Wrecker versus Yats Aran. John, I did not write down the character rankings here. That is,
I don't know.
I have abandoned my duties. But anyway,
abandoned my boy. Let me pull it up. Wrecker was 2. Yats Aran was 63.
Okay, so Wrecker obviously won here. Obviously, I say that it's not nothing's obvious.
Nothing's obvious.
Yeah. Wrecker won. He beat Yats Aran 62% to 38%. Next matchup was Kira versus the Clone Commando.
Kira was 31. Clone Commando was 34. So they were pretty close in the rankings.
Yeah. And this one did kind of surprise me, even though it wasn't an upset, that Kira won. So that was a pretty close one overall.
And I'll say again to clarify for those that don't know, because we got a comment about it today. An upset in this case, it doesn't mean it just personally upsets you, it hurts your feelings, which is also valid and great.
Yeah, for sure.
But when we say upset, that means a lower ranked character beats a higher ranked character in the matchup.
Yes. So, okay, I guess on the topic of things that upset me, there was the Dryden Voss and Jackie Lawn matchup.
Dryden was 18, Jackie was 47.
All right, and he 3-hole punched Jackie just as the stranger did and won. So that was a tough one, but makes sense. That was a good one to watch. 2 Tubes versus Mon Mothma.
2 Tubes was 15, Mon Mothma was 50.
All right, so then no surprise there. 2 Tubes carried on, lived to fight another day.
Mm-hmm.
And then this one was the point of contention that day: C-3PO versus General Grievous.
Number 10 versus number 55, and they were neck and neck all day.
They really were. It's fun watching these results throughout the day behind the scenes, and it's just like it's hard to be like, oh, I want to say something when someone will make a make a joke. I'm like, nope, gonna wait. You'll all find out. So anyway, Grievous managed to just barely take it away there by, it looks like, 22 votes.
Yeah,
it's
pretty nuts.
Second Sister versus Agent Callus. This one did surprise me as well.
She was number 23. He was number 42.
And he was swinging well above his weight class and managed to dethrone her. She has been on the bracket all 5 years, correct?
Yes.
She's one of our 5-timers. And
she has performed she got to the top 32 in 2022 and 2024.
Okay.
But apparently the even years are good for her and the odd years are not for her. So I don't know.
So next year's her year. All right.
Yeah, she'll get back to the top 32 next year.
And then we had SM33, speaking of, from a little bit ago, and Ezra Bridger. Oh boy, this is not good for me to host a show when you talk.
SM33 was not ranked 33. He was ranked 26, and Ezra was ranked 39. So,
and oops, I clicked on the wrong thing here. And that was taken away by SM33. And Asajj Ventress versus the Pike Soldier. Now, this one I think was the most commanding defeat of the day. Ventress ranked.
She was 7, and Pike Soldier was 58.
Yeah, that one was a little bit of a beatdown.
She told us she spanked him that day. That was.
I do want to mention on these, these things that seem like we call them blowouts or big defeats or whatever. But when you look at it, these characters, even when they lose these head-to-head matchups, they're still averaging about a third of the vote, which is pretty dang impressive. So it's like there is still plenty of folks out there that do want it. And again, they made the bracket in the first place. That is in and of itself one heck of an achievement. So
I got to shout out Carrie's line for SM33 beating Ezra. Can't say I remember. No, Aladdin. Amazing. Nicely done.
Oh man.
But yes, and Ventress has done well.
Your boy Tanith.
Let me check real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw a little bit of a rumor about Asajj. I think Face put out something.
Yes, because there's a bunch of Funko Pops coming, and as Yakface has pointed out, and has been true in the past, sometimes when these characters appear across various lines, that might mean they come into Hasbro. He didn't pick the image of Ventress. That was from the Funko Pop website. So they, out of the 5 or 6 characters listed, they put Ventress on there. Maybe it's Ventress, maybe it's one of the other ones. We don't know. I saw Jesse was on the list, so it's probably just going to be yet another repack of ARC Trooper Jesse for the 3rd time.
There was one on that list, though, based on basic inference, that did chat my ass just a little bit. So, oh well. So anyway, just to recap, that was the Friday results. That was the Northeast quadrant of the bracket. So those are all laid out. All of these graphics are available on our Instagram. That is at SWTVC. We have been trying to keep up and keep those posted as well across our other places that were present. I believe these are being posted in the Facebook group. Our buddy John Miko has been really helping us out with that this year, which is awesome. Again, I mentioned earlier, we've got folks covering us on Reddit. And I've been trying to keep us going on Blue Sky and the YouTube community to get all this stuff out there so folks can kind of stay plugged in. And I've even been jumping into the Yakface comments to keep folks updated. Yakface has been posting these to his main page every day.
We've all been kind of looking at different websites. Like I've been looking at the Rebel Scum forums and stuff, and I want to keep up with it all, but I kind of get.
We can't be everywhere, so we do appreciate those of you that are watching. We appreciate those of you out there in the community that you have our backs, and we appreciate that. So
yes, real quick for Ventress's history, I'll say she got to the. She's done well all 5 years or 4 years so far. She got to the top 32 in 2021, then the Elite 8, then the Championship where she only lost against Dooku, and last year she was in the Final 4 where she lost against Balin.
Yeah,
so it'll be interesting to see how far she gets this year.
Yeah, Black Series got her 4 years ago.
Yeah,
2021, I believe. That
Yeah.
was no shock to people who have kept up with us over the past few years. I was a Black Series completist until about 2021, and I think that was one of those last waves. And I've bought some since then, but it was just like, don't come at me with pitchforks. But yeah, I do remember
That was
Ventress, and
that was in the wave with Crosshair and Hunter, I believe. So they got twice the number of Bad Batch figures in the first wave.
Yep. Wow. Hey, speaking of Crosshair, let's jump to Monday's matchups. That was just the most recent round. That concluded the first round, round of 64. This was the southeastern quadrant of the bracket. First matchup of that day was Crosshair versus the Galactic Marine.
Crosshair number 3, Galactic Marine number 62.
All right. So yes, it should come as no surprise with those rankings that Crosshair did come ahead on that one. But again, both wanted.
There are a lot of passionate clone fans, especially on Instagram. I don't know if that's just our demographic or whatever, but yeah, so it's interesting seeing people, we definitely need this. But we don't have Crosshair, but Galactic Marine is so bad that we have. But
yeah,
I definitely,
it's a tough one. I really want a Galactic Marine.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Definitely. Did you vote for the Galactic Marine?
No. Well, I can't remember.
We can grill you on your choices.
Yeah, no, I think I did end up with Crosshair. Yeah. You could. Yeah. I don't know. I think I picked Crosshair, but I remember thinking about it pretty hard.
Yeah.
We'll find out here in a minute. Not to tip the hand, but Brett, you did fill out a couple brackets, and I think I've got those queued up here. So, all right. So there's that, and then we had Plo Koon versus Qui-Gon Jinn. That was tough.
Number 30 versus number 35, both prequel Jedi.
And that resulted with Plo Koon taking the win.
Yeah, still a good showing from Qui-Gon.
And then this one was the closest match of that day, I believe.
Yes.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, Revenge of the Sith Jedi Master versus Endor Rebel Commando. Both figures that would correlate nicely. That seemed to have been skipped in their respective anniversaries, as far as we know.
Yeah.
Yes.
John, what were their rankings?
Obi-Wan was 19. The Commando was 46.
Yes.
This was the one, I feel like every day so far, we've had the one that was like almost exactly 50%, or that was going back. They were split by just a handful of votes or back and forth all day.
Yeah, this one, I was sweating all day. John, you can attest. I was in our text thread, just like, guys.
Yeah, you're not so thrilled about this one.
No, because Obi-Wan Kenobi lost.
By how many? 20 points or something? I can't even.
Yeah, math amount of points. I'm not gonna embarrass myself and pretend I can do that real quick. So everybody watching
small amount of points.
Yeah, it was not a commanding lead. It made me laugh when I did see a comment when someone was just like, the Endor Rebel Commando just handily defeated Obi-Wan Kenobi. Was like, I don't know if your
less than 30
definition
points
of that is.
Yeah. But like you said, with anniversaries, because the Endor Commando, it was only in the bracket this year and last year, but 2 years ago, that was a big miss from the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi, where they did one in Black Series, and they did the bunker, and they did the speeder bike, and they did the ATSC. They built the indoor bunker scene very nicely, but no Ewoks and no Endor Rebel Commandos. Yeah,
they were missing some key things, which they were missing some shoe-ins, and I see a comment here that says Obi-Wan feels like a shoe-in with the new Anakin coming. Again, for anyone that's been paying attention to TVC for the past few years, literally nothing is a shoe-in. It does not matter how popular or important the character is, or if there's things that go with them. Nothing is guaranteed. It is
whether they're from a popular TV show, $1 billion movie, none of it matters.
Yeah,
nothing is guaranteed.
We'll be asking for it for years.
And that's why we're here. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
How cool would it be for them to do one of those 2-packs of Anakin, Obi-Wan, Mustafar?
Yes.
That is
together.
That would
be awesome.
Absolutely love that. I've pitched several of those ideas. And it's like, even if they still did them in mainline versions, if they did a 2-pack that say had some battle damage or extra deco on there to maybe justify the slightly higher price that they charge for those 2-packs per figure. I don't know. But enough about that. Goodbye there. Let's jump to the next one. Sweet Simalu had his day in the sun fighting Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. This blink and you miss it character versus a main villain. Both with ties to Palpatine, but apparently one of them did a little better.
Yes.
John, what were they ranked?
Sweet Sim was 14. And Kylo Ren was 51.
All right. And I guess we shall wait another day
Yes.
to bring me Ben Solo in any capacity.
I want that old strawberry banana Trix yogurt from the 90s after looking at these colors. But
these have been fun to make.
yeah. But yeah, I don't know. People always say, "Oh, nobody wants sequel trilogy characters," but historically, they're doing better this year than they have. Still not, just in terms of their rankings. Usually, they get like 25% of the vote, as far as I recall. I know Ben Solo beat Simalu one time,
and I'll forever hang on to
you.
that victory. It's the only thing I got going anymore, guys.
Yes, and no Tanith. Yeah, so I think the.
We both put the highlight comments.
Yeah, I'm sorry. As Ben beat Simalu, I can't remember all the others. Let me just see real quick. Has Palpatine ever won a round?
I don't think they've ever advanced past the round of 64 other than that one year Ben Solo did.
Palpatine advanced to the top 32 in the first year.
Sith Eternal Palpatine's what you're talking about?
Yeah, episode 9 Palpatine. And then, Kylo Ren has made it. Never won a round, but he's been on all 5 years, and he'll be in our hearts forever. And where's good boy Ben? He's right.
We'll keep asking. So
yes, he made the top. Yes, so everybody keep asking. Everybody rally around. Everybody,
Yeah.
I was asking why aren't people rallying around prequel characters, but there's a lot of things to rally around. All right,
they did in this.
Maybe they
matchup.
are. They are. Maybe they are.
Peli Motto versus Padme Amidala. Geonosis rankings. John.
Peli was 11. Padme was 54.
All right, and Padme pulled that one off, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Yeah, the one that it's a case of an update versus a never made figure, but the existing figure for Padme is just so not up to snuff. So
yeah, I would love new Padmes in the line, but I would also love Peli.
Yeah, I want it all.
The whole thing. I want them.
One thing that concerns me about Peli is how would you do the hair, John? It's got to be molded, right?
Soft goods.
Soft goods. Soft goods.
Yeah, it's got to be soft goods. They got to have like the Leia collection they did back in the 90s, where they were like almost basically dolls with hair and cloth clothes. Yeah, do that for Peli. Why not?
Do you remember the I believe it was it was late episode 1 collection Obi-Wan that had the soft goods Jedi braid.
Yeah.
And man, that thing came undone. The little rubber bands came off and it came. So it just, it was a little Obi-Wan with a blast of hair sticking out of the side of his head.
From the behind the scenes thing where they're cutting his hair before they put the braid together. Yeah. Perfect.
Next matchup was Carson Teva versus Dash Rendar.
Number 22 versus number 43.
Yes, and that resulted with Carson Teva taking the win on that one.
Yeah, now that you've all heard my opinion on Dash, but now that Black Series is getting some Shadows of the Empire love this year, maybe we'll see a better showing for him in the future. I don't know. And John said, yeah, Yoda had real hair. Or the Force, I forgot about it.
Yeah, that caught my eye.
The rooted hair. They could do a Brillo pad for Peli's hair or something. I don't know.
Yeah, multi-use. It's a toy, but you can also use it to clean your sink. So. All right. Neil versus Pirate Captain Brutus. This one is a heartbreaker. John rankings.
Skeleton Crew matchup. Neil was 27 and Brutus was 38.
All right. And Brutus really was a brute. This was, I think, one of the most lopsided votes of the tournament so far, if I'm not mistaken. Poor Neil, but at least he gets to go home and enjoy a nice bath. It was a fun adventure while it lasted. So, last matchup of the day, I think, was another bad batch. No shock. We've talked about this. They all made it to the bracket. Yes, we know. we've seen the complaints. People want the bad batch, dude. Teams and themes. This is what we're sick of asking. It's wild. But anyway, Tech versus Ezra Bridger. Peridia. John
Tech was 6 and Ezra was 59.
All right. So that was Tech winning again. I was actually surprised that it was that definitive of a win. I thought it'd be a little bit closer, but yeah. So there's the recap of those matchups. We've been seeing really great participation the past few rounds. It's really awesome to see.
Every day has been more participation than the last, which is usually not how it goes.
Yeah.
Usually it starts out strong and peters out, but
yeah.
I mean, today might be less, but anyway.
No. So the first day of voting in the round of 32 is currently underway. There's 15 minutes left right now.
Yes.
To vote on today's matchups, and so that ends at 11:59 Eastern time. Yes, few minutes. So anyway, there's the round there. But the matchups today are some Red Blade boys, the Stranger and Darth Malik. Purple Blade boys, depending on when you were reading the comic books, Mara Jade and Kiadi Mundi. Arlyle Shus versus Bosk. Jedi Temple Guard versus Echo Bad Batch. Luthen Rail versus AT-AT Driver. Savage Press versus Saw Gerrera. Pong Krell versus Garandan. And Chancellor Palpatine, Jedi Arrest versus Baze Malbus. And is that the last one of the day, or is there one more?
That's the last of the day.
It's the last of the day. Cool.
And Kevin just asked, is anything close? Yes.
Yeah. Yes. And that's all we'll say.
That, but yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll get into it here in about 14 minutes.
Yep. Stay tuned. Wow. One of them is quite close. All right.
Can I answer some of these comments real quick?
Please do.
Daniel Falconer says, tough choice, SM33 versus Neil. And I'll move off the results so nobody reads it in my glasses. If you're only going to get one, Brutus doesn't need the rest of his crew, right? But Neil does. I guess, but
yeah.
If you want to start the crew, vote for it. But we know it's frustrating when you start a crew and don't finish it for half a decade or more, or whatever.
Bad Batch.
Yeah, Bad Batch or Rogue One or Rebels or Any Hope Mains. I don't know. And Charlie and as many other people say, can we just put the Bad Batch? I'm tired of the Bad Batch taking up the whole bracket. So put them together as one moving forward, like the ton. No,
that's not the rules.
Yeah, we've done it before. The Rebels crew did really well for the first couple of years until they're made. Then the New Hope crew did quite well, and now there's going to be more pockets of things. Prequel characters are starting to bubble up. Legends characters are starting to bubble up.
Yeah.
So the best way for them to get off the bracket is for Hasbro to make them, please. So.
Yeah. Yes. Steve Urkel, Space Pirate.
Yeah.
Brett, you filled out some brackets here. I'm going to pull that up. So this was the first one you filled out.
Yeah.
Needless to say, this one is not possible anymore.
Right.
But that's fun. Let's see. What was the matchup that we'd asked who you chose in?
The Galactic Marine and Crosshair.
Okay.
I honestly can't remember.
Let's see. It looks like
I think Crosshair.
It looks like
Crosshair. You picked
there.
Crosshair. Yeah. And then you filled out with, now that we've got the updated round of 32. I think you have some picks for today's matchups, which is this side, this left side here. So it looks like you're pulling for Malik, Mara, Bosk, Echo, AT-AT Driver, Saw, Garandan, and Baze. So we'll see how you shape up here. But we got some time to kill. Maybe can you explain your picks for today?
Yeah. I guess we'll start with Stranger, Darth Malik. That's a tough one. I do want the Stranger. That he was my most wanted figure from that show, and so I would like to see him. And I think we will get him.
Yeah.
We'll see. But
Hope so.
But Darth Malik, I mean, Darth Revan is one of my favorite TVC figures. He's probably in my top 5 favorite releases from TVC, and he needs his best bud.
Yeah.
So I really need a Malik. I was really impressed. I actually had the Black Series Malik, and I thought that was a pretty good one.
They did a good job with that. I begrudgingly admit that I really liked that figure.
Were you bummed with the redesign? Because I know they redesigned it for the new version of the game, and some people didn't love that version.
I didn't care. I'm not that picky when it comes to the games. I just really love those characters, and I was fine with it. Yeah.
It still looked like him. It wasn't like they did a massive overhaul. Like, we're going to put underwear on him on the outside, like the superhero movie.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see. And Darth Revan did really well in the bracket until he was made. I'm trying to look up real quick. He made it to the Final 4 in 2022 and the Elite 8 in 2023. And then he was made. So maybe a lot of people are moving from supporting him to supporting Malik now. But yeah.
Yeah, so I need Malik, so I had to pick Malik over him. What's next? Mara?
Yeah,
Mara Kiadi Mundi. Gosh, that was another tough one because I really want like Bakara and the Galactic Marines and Kiadi Mundi. I want that whole troop right there, But I am a huge Heir to the Empire trilogy fan, And so yeah, I gotta go with Mara. She's a really cool character. Love to see her.
Nice.
I think I picked her as well today, which was tough because I want both as well. But I was thinking about it, that Kiadi Mundi, the best one we have. I know it's swivel elbows, right?
Yeah.
But I still am impressed by the likeness on that. I think it
Yeah,
looks
it's not
really
bad.
good. So that was the deciding factor for me.
Gotcha. What's next? Arlo
Uh,
Shoes and Bosk.
Yeah.
The ESB bounty hunters are like my favorite characters, so I'm always gonna vote for a bounty hunter. And Bosk is one of the cooler ones. So yeah, I had to pick Bosk. That was just a no-brainer for me. Jedi Temple Guard Echo. That was another tough one. I really would love to see a Jedi Temple Guard. That I think that would be a super cool figure. But I had to go with Echo just because I just recognize how important we need to get the Bad Batch in. So my
Yeah.
hunter's been. I need to bring my hunter out. The poor guy's been just put away for the longest
Yeah.
time because there's no point in him on display by himself, all by just. So he's just been sitting there waiting for his buds to join him forever.
I've
Yeah.
mentioned it before, I think, multiple times. There was someone on Reddit. I can't figure out who it is, but they were posting just daily for a while of pictures of their hunter figure, and it's like day 300 and something of hunter getting drunk by himself, and it was just pictures of him just like drinking in different places. It's like, oh man.
Yeah.
What's
Oh,
the
that's
meme
Hunter.
with the God, the drug lord? I don't know what's wrong with my brain.
Oh, the Narcos meme.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Narcos
when-
meme.
And in the room by himself. Yeah.
Yeah. We should do that with Hunter. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Those of you watching, someone do it. There's 82 of you right now. Good time to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and then there on the bottom of our screen here, bottom right, Linktree. That is where you can vote.
Yes.
There is 8 minutes left to do so. 7 minutes technically, but we'll see.
If they had done one Bad Batch per year since Hunter was released, they'd be done by now. Oh boy.
Ouch. Really?
Everyone, I think we're
That was early 2023, right? That he showed up.
Yeah,
I think that was the first wave of 23.
They pipelined him at Celebration 22.
Okay.
So
I think some folks in Europe or in the UK had him at the end of 2022, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, we don't have any others in the line. So
yeah. Anyway, sorry, Brett. Didn't mean to cut you off. The next one was Luthen versus the AT-AT driver, and I know you had talked about getting that Lego helmet. So
oh yeah, that's a no-brainer for me. I really want that driver. We need more Hoth Imperials. All we have is the AT-AT Commander. That's the only Imperial from that whole opening act that we have, I think.
That was the first wave. Well,
now
the
Snow Trooper, of course. We got the Snow Trooper.
Yeah.
We gotta have the AT-AT driver. That's just it's original 96. It's a cool looking helmet. Yeah, that was a no-brainer.
As you mentioned,
Andor, I love Andor, the series, and Luthen would be cool, but man, this wasn't even. I didn't even hesitate on this one.
You knew.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, it's got a cool card. I like the black background. I don't know if it's like a behind the scenes shot or something, costume test or something, but they did do it in the 6-inch Black Series for the 40th of Empire Strikes Back, but still waiting in TVC.
Still waiting.
Yeah.
What's next? Savage and Saw. Yeah, Saw was way up there. I think he was number 4 on my top 25. Huge Rogue One fan. Definitely want to see Rogue One characters. So we need Saw.
Absolutely.
Another one that I would love to see Savage press. That would be cool, but this was another kind of no-brainer for me. I'm pretty passionate about the Rogue One stuff getting in. So.
Nice.
The next matchup, your choice surprises me a little bit. Pong Krell versus Garandan.
Yeah. So Garandan, Tim from Boss Bounty, he and I have that in common that we both really love Garandan. I've always liked Garandan since I was a kid. Like I always thought there was something really mysterious about him, and they never made it. Kenner never made Garandan. I always felt like they should have. I think Stan Solo Customs made one.
I was just about to ask, do you have the Stan Solo one?
I don't have it.
It's great.
Yeah.
I mean, if you like the retro Kenner stuff, I know some folks, even some of our teammates, I would be getting quite the lecture about how I shouldn't be talking about Kenner stuff. But Yeah, the Stan Solo Garandan is actually, it's super dope. I really like that figure.
It is.
Bossk's Bounty, the other YouTuber with an Empire Strikes Back themed bounty hunter YouTube channel, and a big love for this character. Recently had it in his Q&A, and yeah, it looks so cool with the vinyl cape, hanging over his head and stuff with the hood. It looks pretty awesome.
So we need to start. Someone out there needs to start another YouTube channel, Dengar's Den.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
We already have
we got Forlom Dazakis.
From Forlom Dazakis is already covered, so there we go. That's two of them.
All right.
There you go.
Yeah, and IG88's Instagram, I guess.
And I would really love Pong Krell. My justification there was he won it all last year, so he's gotten the attention of Hasbro, I'm sure.
Yeah,
that would be an awesome figure. It'd probably be like an ultra super deluxe or something. But
$47.99.
Gotta go with my boy Garandan. He's just got a sweet spot in my heart. So.
Nice.
Heck yeah. And then the last matchup of the day, you looks like it's Chancellor Palpatine, Jedi Arrest versus Baze Malbus, and you went with Baze.
Yeah, Baze is right up there. I think on my top 25, he was right behind Saw, like at number 4 or 5. I can't remember, but yeah, gotta get Baze in there. We got Chirrut. It's so weird they came out Chirrut anyway. You're not gonna give him his best friend.
Yeah. Again, nothing's a given with TVC. Where it's like they make Chirrut, so for sure they're gonna make Baze any day now.
It's 5 years later. Here we are.
Yeah. But yeah, you've got a Rogue One showdown, a partisan showdown here at the end now on this version of the bracket. So we'll see if it's possible here in a few minutes.
It's been the time period between. Does this make any sense? From Rogue One's release till TVC Chirrut is shorter than TVC Chirrut to now.
Don't say stuff like that. That makes dude. Where did what? Were we doing SWTVC when Chirrut came out? No, that was right before
I don't think so.
we
like
started.
Right before, yeah. It was fall 2020.
Wow.
So almost 4 years after the movie. So we're a little bit 4.5 years after the figure came out. But
wow.
Yeah. So it is. It's fun to see a lot of the Rogue One and Andor love coming up, and I'm so excited for season 2. I need to find time for a season 1 rewatch of Andor.
I've been wanting to. I have it on glorious 4K, and I still
too.
haven't made the time to see it yet.
Yes. So if anybody, we got like 2 minutes left for the voting.
Yes.
Go down the link tree.
Yes, people vote.
It's on Instagram. Do we remember to put it in the caption here today? I don't know.
I did not.
Wow.
Well, did I? I don't know. I could check.
That's okay. That's okay.
I know. I'm sorry, John. I don't mean to drop the ball.
It's all right. If we have a minute, Tanith is asking. Tanith, you asked about Gunter a minute ago, aka Urkel, who I did have to look up his name because I forgot. He's around 342. Some of these I still need to consolidate, so they're not exact. He was on 20 lists, got 177 points.
And the wish lists do not end at 64. John went through and everybody's there and accounted for.
And Han Solo Takadana was 94. So he made the top 100 this year. And Poe from Rise of Skywalker is at where is he? I know he's around here somewhere. He made it to 95. Oh, he's literally right under Han. He was at one more list, but fewer points. So he's number 95. So yes, they're just clinging onto the top 100.
So going back to my ESB fetish, I'm just curious where Han Solo Hoth has been falling in these things, because I feel like that's a really important Han we need.
Yeah, let me see. He was 143. So he was on 44 lists. And then let me see about best spin was 200-ish. So I feel like, maybe once we get the New Hope ones in hand. Some people are still voting for a New Hope Han because they missed the pipeline, I guess. But it's like, guys, it's coming. And they could use his, depending on how, because they made the last A New Hope Han really skinny, and then I know he bulked up like maybe for his Indiana Jones stuff. So it didn't quite work for the other movies, but we'll see what they do this time. And which color code are you going for, Brett?
It's brown, right? I mean, brown is the accurate version.
Yeah. But it looks blue in the movie, so what are we supposed to do?
I guess it goes back to that whole dress thing, right? Remember the blue, brown?
Yes, the blue.
Brown dress.
All righty, gang. Scott's got us honest here. It is time. I have just closed the submissions. We are done for the day. It's over. It's settled. We'll see who won. All right. So today we got 1,745 votes. John, where's that compared to?
Quite good. Let's see. The other day we got, let me do a little math here. The other day we got 1,760, so not quite as much as Monday, but only 15 viewers. I don't know where you 15 people went, but come back for Friday. So still pretty good.
Cool. All right. So you know what? Let me.
You ready?
I could, but you know what? I want to do this right. So, in The Stranger versus Darth Malik. All right. Sorry, what?
I think. And Brett, any predictions for these guys? I know we know what you want, but what do you think won?
I think The Stranger will take this one, despite me really willing Malik. I know a lot of people are pulling for him, so I would guess The Stranger. We'll see.
This one, I will say, was close throughout the day. Very close. They were within a few votes of each other at a couple points. Winning this matchup is with 922 responses or votes. Number one, The Stranger won the day by 99.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
it was very close
to 47.2%.
Yes. All right. And then next one. So I'm clicking like 3 windows right now. It's fun.
Mara Jade versus Kieti Mundi.
Yep.
Mara Jade was ranked 17. Kieti was 49.
Brett, predictions?
Oh, this is a tough one. I'm gonna go with Mara. Very close race. I'm gonna go with Mara.
Congratulations, you were correct. Yes, Mara Jade took the victory. 970 votes to Kieti Mundi's 775.
So 55.6% for him and 44.4% for him. Sorry, strike that represent. The winner got 55. The loser got 44. So there you go.
Next matchup was Arlyle Schus versus Bosk. All right, Brett, what do you think?
Another tough one. I want a new Bosk, but I think Arlyle is going to take this because of the whole carryover from the Cantina miss out.
I think that's sound reasoning. So sound, in fact, that you are 3 for 3 here. Arlyle Schus did win 960 votes to Bosk's 785.
55 to 45%. And Arlyle was number 9. Bosk was number 41. Yes.
Cool. No upsets, right? Yeah.
Not so far.
Okay. All right. Next one was Jedi Temple Guard.
Okay, this was the
Echo. This is the closest one of the day.
Yes, Echo was number 8. Jedi Temple Guard's number 25. We'll vamp for a second here. Evan puts them in the Google poll based on their rankings. So the rankings on the left, the higher ones on the left, lower ones on the right. I do the photos by where they are on the bracket. I could go based on what you do, but I like to keep it right in the bracket. Yeah. So it's all good. It's all gravy. But Echo was number 8. Jedi Temple Guard was number 25. Who do you think won?
I'll go with Echo.
This one was so close. They're separated by 15 votes.
Wow.
And yes, Echo is the winner today. 880 to 865 for the Jedi Temple Guard.
Wow.
Oof, that one was. We were sweating, man. That was that was going. That was another one. I think it went back and forth a couple times. Or at the very least, it was within like 3 votes for a while.
Yeah, sometimes at the very beginning, like one looks like it's winning quite a bit, but then when that votes come in overnight, it's like, all right, well, clearly not going to happen anymore. But this was the closest of the day. Spoiler alert for the other ones, but.
Next one is Luthen versus the AT-AT driver. Luthen is number 4. AT-AT driver is number 29. Brett, what do you think?
I don't know, man. Old white guys, they're at a disadvantage, I think. Gosh. Oh, man, I don't know. Probably Luthen. I think Luthen's going to barely take it.
Trust your instincts, because yes, Luthen did take it. 1,113 votes to 632 for the AT-AT driver.
63.8% versus 36.2%. So sorry, we don't mean to keep bringing guests on and then crush their hopes for the ones that they voted for. It happened with Miko last week with Shasatiel, but
we're celebrating you, Brett, because I think you called all of these correctly. So
yes,
yeah.
So far, we'll see.
And everyone has done well. I think was this
Yeah.
the yeah.
I think this was the strongest.
This was the strongest performance from
yeah.
a character today, though.
Yeah. Next one is Savage versus Saw Gerrera. Savage is ranked number 13, or sorry, Saw is ranked number 13 and Savage is number 20. Brett, who are you thinking for this one?
I'm gonna go with Saw. He's got multiple appearances in multiple media, right? Being in Andor and Rogue One. I think he's pretty popular. I know Savage is, but I think Saw pulls this one out.
I did see a comment today. Someone was like, he's been in like 4 or 5 shows. I'm like, there's no way that's true. But he was in the Clone Wars. He was in Rebels.
That's right.
He was in
Bad Batch. Right.
And he's been in Jedi Fallen Order.
Andor,
yeah, and obviously Andor and Rogue One and stuff. But
dang, he's everywhere, dude.
Yeah,
except for the vintage collection.
But
will
he still be on the bracket?
Yes, and Brett, you have him going to the finals against Two Tubes in your revised bracket, and you know what? That is still a possibility because Saw won the day 936 to 809.
You're here now. Remember this. You're ready to fight. And he's ready to fight. He's here now.
All right. Next matchup, Pong Krell, defending champion versus Garandan. All right, Brett. Who are you thinking?
I'll say Pong is ranked 12. Garandan is 44.
Yeah, it's got to be Pong. There's not too many of us out there that are in the Garandan fan club, I don't think. So.
There are at least 732 of you, Brett.
Okay.
Alas, that is not more than 1,013 who voted for Pong Krell winning the day.
Yes, 58.1% to 41.9%.
All right. And last matchup of the day. We've got
tough one.
Yes, Baze Malbus number 5 versus Chancellor Palpatine Jedi Arrest. Number 28, and he just squeaked by on the last round in the round of 64.
Yeah.
So who are you thinking on this one?
I think there's enough pull for Baze. I'm going with Baze on this one. I don't even think it's going to be that close. I think he pulls away pretty handily.
Once again, you have your finger on the Hasbro pulse of this matchup. Baze won 1,043 to Palpatine's 702.
59.8% to 40.2%. That was the second biggest win of the day over Luthen versus the AT-AT driver. So both, Baze and Luthen had the biggest wins of the day.
Yeah.
And Saw's moving forward too. So the Rogue One and Andor crew is moving right along.
Well, there you have it, folks. That is today's results. We will be posting the results, the fun little graphs, and the score thing. I got to make those. I don't know if I'm going to make it tonight. A little tired, but yeah, those will be up tomorrow morning, or at least tomorrow early afternoon. We shall see. Yeah, let's see. What are anything? Anybody particularly shocked? I don't know. I don't think so. These were all relatively close matchups today, I will say, throughout the day. This was maybe the closest day.
There wasn't a single upset this time, but so does that reinforce just that the initial submissions are what people can kind of agree on overall, even though there's more people that vote in the specific matchups than have these specific characters in their lists in a lot of cases. Don't know. Dylan's asking, are Grievous and Padme the only prequel characters left? No Plo Koon's in there. Yeah, Ki-Adi-Mundi wasn't there. Sorry to tell you. So these guys will be. Do you want to go over the next matchups? I guess we can wait a second. But
yes, and I swore I put these in here. Did I? Oh, I did not put in.
Okay, I'll go over the. You know what? I might be able to share them.
Yeah, please do.
Let's see what happens here.
Man, I knew I was forgetting something, guys. Sloppy work.
Crash the whole system again. Let's see what happens. I'll say. All right, where are we going? We're not in the bracket. We're in the matchups. Okay.
And you know what? Just while you're doing that, John, I'm going to add this real fast. The
Yes.
tournament schedule, just a refresh for everybody. We have just obviously completed the first part of the round of 32, the second part of the round of 32 that will conclude on this Friday, March 14th. As with all of these days, voting begins at 12:01 a.m. Eastern Time and ends at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. That is essentially 24 full hours to get your vote in. So yes, we'll have the Sweet 16 will be next Monday, the Elite 8 on Wednesday. The Final 4 will take us into that final weekend on Friday, 3/21. And then the championship is actually going to be a 3-day long open thing for folks to vote in, I believe, at the moment, unless anything changes. And we will do a live reveal of that as it winds down. It will be another Wednesday night, late night live stream. So just wanted to put a bug in everybody's ear about that.
Yes, and I will have to restart Chrome if I want to let it share my thing, and I'm not going to do that right now. So,
Don't worry about it.
if you want to bring up the bracket again, we can go over it that way. If you want
Yes,
to zoom in on
I
some of that
will.
stuff.
I will do that in 1 minute. I know there's fast ways to do this. We're really advanced and really prepared and
At least
polished.
it's
And
working this time, and my mic's back.
yeah, look at that. Baby steps, guys. So here is the
Brett's
bracket.
looking so bright and polished over here. So, thank you while I'm sitting in the darkness.
And
So
I have the wrong bracket up. Don't
oh,
worry about that.
just go
What?
forward a little bit. Here's a little recap of the entire night here for you.
Yeah, you guys want to see what we were doing? Good Lord. I swear.
It's going great. It's going great.
All right, there we go. There's the right one.
Yes.
'Kay.
So this Friday we are going to have Wrecker versus Kira. We're going to have Dryden Voss versus Two Tubes. General Grievous versus Agent Callus. SM-33 versus Asajj Ventress. Crosshair versus Plo Koon. Indoor Rebel Commando versus Sim Alu Imperial Dictionary. Battle of the 96. Padme Amidala from Geonosis versus Carson Teva. And rounding it out, we'll have Pirate Captain Brutus versus Tech. And then, wow, some hard choices. It's only going to get harder here, folks. And then I'll say next Monday, after lining up one today, it's going to be The Stranger versus Mara Jade. This is next Monday. Arlyle Shoes versus Echo, number 9 versus number 8. Luthen Rail versus Saw Gerrera. So the Andor boys will be facing off. And then Pong Krell versus Baze Malbus. So we shall see both a couple of 5-year tournament participants. And I'll say on the left side of the bracket now, everyone who made it through, the highest ranked characters from the left side of the bracket, the west side of the bracket, have made it through, except for Bodhi Rook, who was 16, and Mara Jade was 17. So other than that, it's matching up with the submissions pretty well so far.
The only reason, sorry.
On the right side, there were some big upsets where number 10, C-3PO, and number 11, Palimato, were beaten, as well as number 19, 26, and 27. But the 10 and 11 were big upsets.
On the left side of the bracket, Bodhi would have made it through. However, I made the cardinal sin of supporting him. And anybody I support gets immediately yeeted from this competition. I have the kiss of death for any character here. So I will no longer be endorsing any more characters for the rest of the tournament. Oh, boy.
Yes.
Let's see. I have one more reminder here schedule-wise. Want to put this up there. So obviously we're doing tonight's live stream. We changed the time from 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. We will likely do the same thing next week. But as I mentioned earlier, yes, as I mentioned earlier, we will be, we'll be back again this Saturday, which is March 15th. That is soon. Good Lord, who made the schedule? Me. That will be at 2 p.m. Eastern time on this very channel to cover the halfway point of the tournament. And we will have special guests, and I'm going to go ahead and say who they are. That is going to be middle-aged Kiwi man collecting Star Wars figures, and Toys Are the Way. So I'm very excited about that.
Will Lewis and Tyler be joining us? I don't know, actually.
Who can say?
We'll see.
I don't know. But yeah,
well, it's a halftime show, so I guess it'd be appropriate only half of you guys show up.
That's true.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, there's all that. All right. Well, should we start spiraling into the end of the show here? I know we've been going for an hour and 15 minutes, and Brett, we're keeping you up late, but I appreciate you.
I'll say real quick, yes, thank you to everybody who voted. Thank you for everybody who has shared and continue to share. Brett, you've been doing great at reposting our graphics every day and getting the word out there. So thank you for that.
Yes, and I saw an awesome comment here about you, Brett. Awesome guest.
Oh, that's my boy, Wizzy. What's up, man?
Nice.
Pumping me up.
Sorry. People think that we have a huge budget.
Kendrick's coming on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
One of my favorite comments I'll just say, yeah, someone was like, well, the NCAA can do the March Madness quickly. It's like, I think they might have a little bit more resources than we do. Okay.
Yeah, everybody, thanks for your patience with us. Yeah.
Everything's fine. Situation normal.
Yeah. Well, Brett, where can folks find you on social media? I know you've got your YouTube channel. Is it just Brett on FET?
Yeah, just Brett on FET on
Awesome.
YouTube, and then Instagram is Brett_on_FET. So
Perfect.
fairly easy to find me. I have an X account, but I don't really use it. So yeah, wouldn't even bother trying to.
Too many social media accounts, man.
Yeah, it was too much to keep up with all that stuff. So I just focus on YouTube and Instagram.
Heck yeah, man. And you seem to be doing all right with that. I love you. I love your videos, man. I try to keep up with you. It's fun seeing what everybody's up to in this community. You know, there's such a diverse array of folks just loving all this stuff and talking about vintage collection. It always makes me feel slightly less crazy about my affliction of collecting these little 3 3/4 inch pieces of art, which folks see as maybe not as artistic as I do when they are walking past my office thinking, oh, that's where his paycheck went. Got it. So yeah, everybody go make sure you are not only liked and subscribed here on SWTVC, but please go find Brett on YouTube, Brett on FET, find him on Instagram, follow him, watch his content, give him some likes, show him some love. Brett, you have been an incredible guest tonight. I appreciate you making the time on a Wednesday night
to
talk about this stuff, and sorry to break your heart with a couple of these reveals, but congrats on nailing the predictions. So
yeah, thanks. No, this was great, man. I really appreciate you guys inviting me and being on. So, yeah.
Well, anytime. We'll have to have you on again.
Anytime. Yeah.
Let's see. So just to again mention, voting occurs throughout March for TVC March Madness, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, with the voting window being 12:01 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. Eastern time. The link to voting, which you can see down on the bottom of the screen over here, that Linktree link, that is spammed everywhere. Our at SWTVC Instagram posts and our bio on Instagram, in the matchup stories that go out those days, our personal Instagram pages. Brett, I know you've been sharing stuff. Miko has been diligently assisting us by posting over in the TVC Facebook group. We immensely appreciate that. Yak Face, as I mentioned earlier, Trowerman on Reddit, Blue Sky YouTube stuff that we're trying to keep up with. We're trying. It's out there. If you can't find it at this point, I don't know what else to tell you. So,
yes.
Yeah.
And you don't need any of these social medias. You just need the Google link and a Google account. That's all you need, everybody. It's okay.
Yes. And because it's shared on all these sites, no, that doesn't mean you have to go to all of these sites to keep up with it. Pick one. They're usually keeping up with all of it. So, yeah. So just a reminder here, as always, we're not affiliated with Hasbro whatsoever, but they do pay attention to these community events, and the more data, the more participation that we can get, the better. So anyway, I don't even need to repeat myself from last week too much, but it goes without saying, we want more. We want it all. We're vintage collection fans. This tournament is about, what do we want? What do we want to see in the line? What do you want to see first? Not what do you want to see at the expense of, or what do you want to see only? We're not asking what don't you want to see? It is, we want to see this. So if your favorites, like all of mine, have been knocked out of the tournament so far, do not get discouraged. Really, keep voting. There's more characters to rally around. There's more to love. The participation is important overall, and you never know what's going to happen. Just because they're out of the tournament, it does not change the fact that they made it into the tournament. They're on that hard community data that John put together that we've got from all of you participating from those top 25 lists. So again, even if they're gone from the tournament, they're forever in our hearts, and they are cemented in that empirical data, and they are where they are at in the ranking. So anyway, sorry for the rant there. Just wanted to put that
they're
out
all
there.
still getting hundreds of votes every time anyway, so it's
Yeah.
not like nobody wants them.
Yeah.
They're all
You are not
wanted.
alone in wanting what you want, and there are at least dozens of you for some of these characters, and trust me, I'm one of those for some characters. It's great.
I'm one of them
Anyway,
for all of them.
Where the Kidster fans at?
Yes,
Kidster fans.
Kidster and Wald, come on.
All right.
2026 is going to be their year. I guarantee it. 27th anniversary of Phantom Menace.
All right. Well, Brett, any final thoughts you want to share with everybody before we sign off here for the night?
No, I just want to thank you guys again for doing this. Everybody really appreciates all the hard work you do. So just can't say thank you enough.
Well, we appreciate it. You wouldn't be
looking forward to seeing the results.
Yeah.
Sweet. John.
Go Two Tubes. Two Tubes is my new champion.
Yeah.
We'll revisit this one.
Everybody, if your champion got knocked out, pick a new champion. They're all champions in my eyes. But yes, thank you, everybody. And we'll get some rest and we'll be back with more voting. Remember to vote. It comes again Friday, 24 hours from now, I guess. Right?
Yeah, something like that.
Thursday night in some parts of the country. So when it's Friday night on the East Coast, when it's Friday, I don't know. I'm tired. Vote.
Yep.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
What, you think that this stream has run out of steam? I don't know. Yes, again, voting resumes about 24 hours, Friday morning, 12:01 a.m. Stay tuned tomorrow for the results from today, for those shareable graphics, for all of that stuff. Find all of it wherever. I'm going to go ahead and sign off here for us. Brett, if you would just wouldn't mind staying on, and we will catch up on the after show here. But everybody will get to see the cool outro. So make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. Follow Brett on FET. We'll be back as always. Keep 375 alive. Back TVC. Vote in TVC March Madness. Thanks for your support, and may the force be with you. Good night, everybody.